Have you ever wondered what the most difficult saves in Football Manager 2022 are going to be? I know that I have, so I'm going to share with you 5 saves I think will be a great challenge for you. Welcome back everyone, I hope you're all having a great day so far. Thank you so much for showing all the support in the FM22 video so far, I really appreciate it. If you do enjoy today's video, make sure you subscribe. It's completely free to do and it would absolutely mean the world to me. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button as well and hit that notification bell. And in the comments below, let me know how you got on with the clubs if you have tried them out. But I have picked 5 of the hardest teams for you to try out. They do all have points deductions when they start the season, and we're going to rate them from the lowest points deduction all the way to the highest points deduction. And make sure you stick around till the end because I will be saving the hardest clubs till then. So let's get into it. And the first club we're going to look at is Astra. They're in the Greek Super League, and you can tell from the home screen they do have a -6 point deficit. So although it could just be 2 wins to get it back, it will still be quite a challenge. And you've also got to juggle with Europe as well, so you've got to make sure that you're fighting on Europe's side, and you've got to fight for the league as well, so you will have to try and balance it out. The positive thing is they don't have a transfer embargo like a few of the other clubs that I'm going to show you, but I feel like this could be a really good one that you could try out. Trying to get that points deficit down and try and fight for Europe as well will be a massive challenge, and I think it'll be one that you enjoy. And you've got a wealth of players to go through as well. You've got a big squad, you've got quite a lot of quality players as well there, and it is quite an aging squad, so you might want to try and take on some youth players. But as you can see here, you've got some 34-year-olds here, you've got 33, 30-year-olds, 31, 32, so it is quite old, but obviously you do need to have that experience and that youth. And if we look at the finances, you aren't actually too bad for finances right now. There aren't any debts, but you don't have too much to work with in the budget. So you've got 250,000 of a transfer budget. You do have a wage budget of about 176,000. You are actually spending 171 just now, so you've only got 5 grand to go with. So it isn't too much, but if you do try and maybe sell some players, you might be able to get some other players in, or you might just be able to lower the finances a little bit better. But all in all, looking at it in the big picture, it doesn't look like too difficult a task. But if you couple up trying to pull back those 6 points, trying to get a decent position in the league, and also trying to fight for Europe, it will be a good challenge for you. And this is why this is in the list today. You've got some other big clubs that you've got to try and fight against as well. AEK, Olympiacos, Panathinaikos. So it won't be easy by any stretch. But if you do try out Aris, let me know in the comments below how you got on. And for our next club, we're heading over to the Netherlands. Let's go. And the second club we're going to look at is Den Haag. As you can see from the home screen, they do have a -6 point deficit as well. This one will be a little bit more difficult than the Aris save though. They're in the Dutch second league, so it will be difficult to get them back to the Eredivisie. And obviously starting off with -6 isn't a good start, but they are predicted in the first season to get into 7th place. One positive is they don't have a transfer embargo, so if you do want to try and improve the squad, you can do that from the start of the season. But one of your big issues is going to be finances. You can see from the screen, they are 8.3 million in debt here. They don't have any budget. They've only got 26,000 to spend on a transfer budget. Their wage budget is 51,000, which is minuscule. And yeah, they're 8 million in debt. So it is going to be difficult. You're not going to be able to do much in the transfer market. So you basically are going to have to rely on the players that you do have here. But if you can sell some players and maybe getting some younger players, getting some cheaper players, it might help out a little bit. But it might be a case of just trying to steady the ship for a couple of seasons and then trying to get up to the next league. But you haven't got the biggest squad either, so it is going to be quite difficult. But you do actually have some very good players in your squad. So most of you will know about Daryl Janmaat. You've also got Brainberg. A lot of you will know about Elia, and also of course Ricardo Kishna, who's your best player in the club. So obviously you do have some good players to work with, but it is obviously going to be a little bit of a struggle with the depth. And if any of these players do get injured, it will be a little bit of a struggle to replace them. And you're also going to have to consider match fitness, so you're going to have to rotate players. But if you want to cash in on some players, you could actually cash in on Kishna if you wanted to. But obviously you want to try and keep your best players. It is a really good young squad as well. You've got a lot of young players here, so there is a lot of potential to grow. But like I said, you do start with a -6 deficit, so it will be difficult at the start of the season. And albeit just 6 points, it is 2 games. You do have to remember they are in a severe financial position. But with a good squad already, maybe a couple of additions, and also some good tactics, you should be able to survive this, get back up to the Eredivisie, and really push on with Den Haag. And for the next 2 clubs, we're going to go back to England. So let's go. So for the third club, and you already know about them quite a lot, they are Derby County. I have talked about them in another video. It is on top of your screen right now if you want to go check it out. But I am also doing the Derby save on my Twitch channel. The link will be down below. Come stop in and see how we're getting on. But Derby is a really good save. Very difficult when you start off though. As you can see from the home screen, on the league table, they are bottom league with a -12 point deficit. It is very difficult. I personally know this for myself. And one of those reasons being is they are in a financial crisis. So you do start the season with a transfer embargo, and that won't be lifted until the club gets taken over. And I think when I done it on my Twitch save, they didn't get taken over till December. So you basically have to go through half of the season not being able to sign any players. And what makes it worse is you actually have a lot of injuries when you first start your season. Christian Bielik, one of your best players, is out for 6 months. You also have Colin Kazim-Richards, who's out for 2 to 3 months. And you've got other players like Knight, who's out for 2 months. You've got Watson out for 3 weeks. Buchanan's out for 6 weeks. So all that adding up, it doesn't make a great start for Derby. You do have some seasoned players in there like Jagielka. You've got Curtis Davis as well. But you will have to make the most of the squad for the start of the season until you can get a takeover. And hopefully you do get one before the January transfer window, or even before that, so you can actually start making some investments, because it will be needed. The Championship is one of the hardest leagues in the world, so this is really a big challenge if you do want to take it on. But if we go and look at their finances, they are in financial crisis right now. They're 3 million in debt here. If we actually go and look at their debts and loans, they've actually got a total debt of 55 million, so it is massive. And obviously, being that said, you have no transfer budget. It doesn't even matter anyway, because you are in an embargo. And you're basically spending every single penny of your wage budget that you've got already. So even if you didn't have an embargo on, you still wouldn't be able to sign any players. Obviously, you could try and offload some players if you want to, but you do have some players that are on some big money. So you've got, for instance, Marshall's on 20k, Bielik's on 20k, you've got Tom Lawrence on 30k. So you've got a lot of players on big wages. And the problem as well is it's not a big squad. You will struggle with a lot this season, especially if you can kind of stay in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup as well. It is stressful though, so just be warned. But yeah, with no money, transfer embargo, not much support from the board, minus 12 points as well is really, really difficult challenge. And it deserves to be one of the hardest clubs to manage in Football Manager right now. But with that being said, we're going to go back to another club in England, so let's go and have a look at them. And going to the fourth club, we are going to look at Dover. They're in the Vanarama National League. It is a very difficult league to get out of. And what makes it even worse is they do have a minus 12 point deficit when you start the season. Thankfully, unlike Derby, you can actually sign players at the start of the season. They don't have a transfer embargo. But there are a lot of good clubs here. You've got Stockport, you've got Wrexham. And if we actually go and look at the season preview, they are actually predicted 401 to 1 to actually get relegated. So you do have a big task on your hands. What makes it worse is you don't have any transfer budget. You don't have any money for your wages as well. You're spending every single penny just now, so it will be very difficult to get any players in. You probably will have to try and offload some players so you can get some other players in if you want to. Thankfully, they don't have any debt though, so that's a good thing. But always going to a low league club, it is always difficult to try and make some money. But if you haven't yet, I do have a video up in the top of the screen that you can go and check out just now. It'll help you out if you are a low league team and you are trying to get a little bit of extra cash, so make sure you go and watch it. But the other worrying thing about Dover is their squad is very, very small. They've only got 20 players in their main squad. And the fact you've got no finances for wiggle room, it is going to be very difficult to sign players. So you are going to have to make sure that you rotate the players as much as possible. And if you can try and get a senior affiliate and get some loan signings in, that could be really beneficial as well. They do actually have a couple here. Henry Woods looks like a fantastic player for them. But make no mistake, this is a really, really difficult save. You do have to pull that 12-point advantage back. Try and make sure that you try and get the best out of the players that you've got as well. But considering that you're massively predicted to get relegated, it will be very, very hard. But that is the fourth club. We have one more to go. They do have the biggest points deduction, but it is one club that is probably going to shock you where they are at. So let's go to Romania and have a look at them. And for my fifth and one of the hardest saves that you will get on Football Manager 2022, we are looking at Astra, of course. Most of you will know Astra. They were in the Champions League not long ago. They were playing against the likes of Barcelona. And it's quite shocking to see their fall from grace. They were at the top of the Romanian league, but as you can see, they've fallen to the second tier of the Romanian league. And they start with a massive 14-point deficit as well. So this is going to be difficult to pull back, and it's going to be no mean feat. And one of those reasons is going to be your finances. So you can see from your finances, you've got no transfer budget whatsoever. And if we look at your wage budget, you've got 8,500, which is absolutely nothing. You're only spending 5,000 so far, so you do have about 3k that you can work with. But even if you wanted to, you can't, because we've got a transfer embargo right now. So you're going to have to work with the squad you've got no money, and you've got to pull back 14 points before you can even start competing with other teams. And if we look at the season preview, they are predicted to get relegated. So it is going to be very difficult. And if we go and look at their squad, they do have a sizable squad, so you can make some rotations there. The good thing is it is quite a large squad that you don't have to worry about squad depth. It's a quite young squad as well, so they do have room to grow. So they probably aren't the best quality right now, but they do have that room to grow, so hopefully you can get that out of them. But nonetheless, it is going to be really difficult, especially since you can't add any quality right now. And the fact is you're also in debt as well, so you're almost 9 million in debt, so you're going to have to pull that back at some point. But considering they used to be playing in the Champions League and they've fallen all the way to here, it is absolutely shocking. But it's definitely one worth trying out. If you do try out, let me know in the comments below how you got on with it. And that is 5 clubs that do have points deductions. That will be a good challenge for you in FM22. And there you have it. There were some difficult challenges there. Some of them not as hard as others. Your likes of Aris and Den Haag, they actually do have a lot of potential. Especially pulling back 2 points, Den Haag should manage to do that with the players they've got at the club as well. But regardless, point deductions are difficult, especially if you've got transfer embargoes as well. And if you look at the likes of Derby, Dover and Astra, they've got huge points to pull back. And with 2 of those clubs being in a transfer embargo and all of them having no money whatsoever, it is going to be really difficult. So if you do try it out, let me know how you get on. But that is my list of 5 clubs that do have points deductions at the start of the season, and that's what makes them really good challenges. If you do find any more clubs with points deductions in FM, let me know. I would love to do more videos like this. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe as well. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. On your screen right now is a video I think you'd love to watch. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, catch you next time.